Hey guys, what's up? Bargainman Hobo here, and today we're celebrating a very important anniversary. On this day, August 26th, in the year 2000, something amazing happened. The PlayStation 2 came to the States. Now, dude, this is my second favorite console behind only a certain Nintendo lunchbox. Now, this is still my original thing. I've had this thing since my 8th birthday, so almost 20 years exactly that I've owned this thing. So, I have a lot of memories with this thing, and just thousands of hours sunk into it. And then it might be no surprise that I've got 10 games to talk about today that just mean the world to me. Why do I say 10 instead of just saying 10? You'll see in a moment. Let's get right to it with... Okay, so for number 10, I kind of cheated. We've got 2 games at number 10. So we've got Rayman 2, Revolution, and Monsters Inc. Now you might be asking yourself, what in the world do those games have in common? Well, I'll tell you. They were the first 2 games I got for my PS2, opened on my 8th birthday. Allow me to set the scene for you. So my dad was military, and we just come back to the States from England and settled in our new house, and soon after that was my birthday. So I'm sitting here, opening presents, and I unwrap a PS2 game, Rayman specifically. I go, wait a minute, Dad, we don't have a PS2. I thought he just got confused and forgot what console we had. He said, oh really? So he takes me outside to his truck, and in the truck there's a blanket, like the bed of the truck. He says, Danny, your PS2's under the blanket, go get it. So I climb up, and I crawl as fast as I can in that blanket, which wasn't very fast. And then I go and throw the blanket aside, and there's no PS2. I look back at my dad, and there he is holding it. See, I was crawling so slowly that while I was doing it, he had plenty of time to walk to the front seat, get the PS2, and come back. So, these 2 games were the first 2 I got, and you never forget your first. So, I've never beaten Rayman, but Monsters Inc. was the first game I actually beat on my own without help from my brother, ever. So, there's an achievement there for you. Okay, sorry, went on a bit of a tangent there. So, yeah, first 2 games I owned, first one I beat by myself. Well, alright, let's move on. The Mummy Returns. The Mummy and The Mummy Returns are 2 of my all-time favorite movies. There is no third movie. Well, anyway, this game is garbage. Oh, it's hot garbage. But let me tell you, it's my kind of garbage. I really enjoy this game despite the crap that it is. And it's the first game where I ever actively went after the bad ending. Yeah, there's a bad ending in this game. How do you get it? Well, of course you play as Emotep. Yeah, this game gives you control of the protagonist and the antagonist. Both play pretty differently, but ultimately take the same journey, and both are pretty terrible. Let's look at this real quick. Rick uses guns and runs faster. Emotep uses spells and is slower but heck of a lot stronger. He can send people flying. It's actually pretty funny the first time you do it. Though the game's annoying sound design, especially the Emotep solo absorbing, just oof, man. They dropped the ball pretty hard on this one, but I don't care. I love this game. Okay, moving on. Hidden Invasion. I have a lot of nostalgia for this game because I played it a bunch with my brother, which, spoiler alert, is a trend you'll be seeing a lot of. So, we saw a friend playing this, and we wanted to play it because it had co-op, and it looked cool to us. And then we got it a little bit later. I believe it was for my brother's birthday. Man of Living, we never beat it. I don't even think we even got past the first boss. If we did, it wasn't far past that. This game is terrible, but I always love it. The controls are clunky, the gameplay is repetitive, the enemies are cheap, and bosses especially are very cheap. The time limits are always there. Heck, I had to use easy mode, and you have to use a cheat code just to unlock that. Whew. And the sound design is repetitive. Man, there is no reason this game should be good, and really it's not. But I'll always love it. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on this. Let's just move on already. Power Rangers Super Legends. Oh man, I've loved Power Rangers ever since I was a kid. When this game came out, I wanted it so bad. And so for Christmas that year, I got the DS version. And that is a whole other can of worms. If I ever get a 3DS capture card, I will cover that at some point. Anyway, it took a while, but I finally was able to get the PS2 version. And let me tell you, I loved it so much I beat it in one sitting, but as I got older, I began to realize this is just hot garbage. The game is so simplistic, a caveman could beat it. It's so easy, there's like no challenge. If you die, you just get right back up again right where you were. It's like the Lego games, but the Lego games are at least fun consistently. This is, okay, it's not terrible, okay? The platforming is decent, and there's hidden collectibles to incentivize new playthroughs. Oh, of course, we can't forget the Megazords. Yeah, remember when Megazord fights in Power Rangers games were fun? Well, unfortunately, this is literally nothing but quick time events nonstop, so the game tells you to stop. That started in the Disney era, and unfortunately it still doesn't in Power Rangers games today. Well, you know, I don't know what to say. Just look at it. But I will always love this game because I love Power Rangers. So, yeah. Crash Tag Team Racing. This is a pretty unpopular bullet point in Crash's resume, but you know what? I like it. And you know why? This was the first kart racer that I actually enjoyed playing by myself. Sure, I enjoyed Mario Kart, but that was only ever with friends and whatnot. But this, I could play this by myself and still have a decent time. And you know why? Because it wasn't just kart racing. This solidified the idea for me that kart racers could be fun alone. And you know, it also had the adventure part and the shooting when you can combine the karts together. And it was honestly extremely silly and goofy, which Crash should be, let's be real. So, for as little as people actually like this, I really enjoy this one. I can see why people wouldn't, but come on, it's a fun game. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Moving on. Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. So this is the only game on the list that I've actually covered previously on the channel. And this one is on here because it reminds me of a certain day in my life. New Year's Eve 2006, the day before 2007, I was opening a thing I got for Christmas with a knife, and I was cutting towards myself, which you're not supposed to do, and it came out and stabbed me right in the thumb. Yes. Ouch. So, it was bleeding really bad, and I asked my dad what we should do. He said, well, just put a Band-Aid on it, and it was still bleeding in the morning, we'll go to the hospital. So it did, went to bed, woke up, it was still bleeding, so went to the hospital, and a lot of shots and a lot of pain later. There was a giant yellow bandage on my thumb. I had apparently even lost a little bit of tissue in the process, and I had to get the tetanus shot that day. So, you might imagine that day wasn't very fun. The very first day of 2007, might I add. Well, afterwards, my dad took me to the store, and we had Larry Boys, like this little box, and it had a little car, a little Larry Boy car. So we got that for me, and then we went to Burger King, and I'm about to buy my burger, and my dad goes, "Don't bite your finger!" And I almost dropped my burger. Luckily, I was able to hold on, and I ate it without biting my finger. So that memory brings pain to my psyche, but I don't know, this game just reminds me of that day that, sure, that all that crappy stuff happened, but I got this game and I got to hang out with my dad. So, you know, give and take, I guess. Madagascar. Madagascar, the movie, came out when I was in 5th grade, and I loved it. I had so much fun with that movie. I went and saw it in theaters, had a blast. Then, the game came out soon thereafter, like it usually did at that time, and you better believe I wanted it. And for my birthday, I got it. And I had so much fun with it, I beat it in one sitting. My mom was so mad at me, but you know what? It was worth it. And I still do enjoy it now and then. I still pick it up and play it now and then. It's, I know it's the greatest game ever, but hey, you know, it just brings me back to that time being in like 5th grade and playing this game and really just having a ball with it. So, yeah, well, nostalgia, of course, that's a lot of these. What are you gonna do? So, well, that's that.
It's so nice to interact with the fans.
Pac-Man World 2. This might surprise some of you, but I am in fact old enough to remember the days at the video store. You go there, you pick out a game, you pay a certain fee, rent it for a time, and then you bring it back. Yep, I remember those. My brother and I were big fans of that even. Our dad would take us down to the local Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, and he'd bring us there and we'd either have to agree on a game, each get our own, or there are times when one of us would pick the game, and then the other get to play it first. Yeah. Well, anyway, this was a multi-range occurrence for me. It wasn't until high school that I finally owned a copy for myself. And this game loved back then, and still loves today, to kick my butt. It starts off nice and easy, but does get harder. I've never beaten this game. I plan to at some point, but we'll see how that goes. Well, so that's what I have to say about that. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. So do you remember what I said about Hidden Invasion, about how like my brother and I saw a friend playing it, played it a bit with him, then he got it for his birthday? It's a similar story here, except, so we were at a friend's house, that same friend in fact, and he was playing it and he let my brother play for a bit, and then we rented it a bunch before my brother finally got it for his birthday. And this time we actually beat it. We had a ton of fun playing together, co-oping, but we did in fact beat it. So I do have a lot of nostalgia playing this with my brother, but I played alone on my own as well. It's a pretty fun game. It's a hack and slash beat 'em up RPG type thing. That's honestly a ton of fun. So if you see it for cheap at your local game store, seriously, grab it. It's really good. Now, last but not least... Yep, Medal of Honor Frontline. So, this game helped me get over a very particular fear I had. So, when I was 6 years old, I got Banjo-Tooie for Christmas. And a lot of missions in that game early on are first-person shooters. So in Banjo-Tooie, whenever an enemy sees you, they make a sound. Case in point, these cats in the first world go "Meow" whenever they see you. Now, if I saw the cat beforehand, it didn't bother me, but if I heard it from off camera before seeing the cat, it would scare me so bad I would run away. I had to get my brother to do those missions for me. Then fast forward to when I was about 8 years old, and we got our PS2. My brother's favorite game at the time was James Bond 007 Nightfire. And I'd only ever play that with him because I was still scared of first-person shooters, but if I got scared, well, he was there. Now we jump ahead to high school when my then girlfriend and I would trade a couple games, and this game, Medal of Honor Frontline, was one of the games she gave me. So now I'm legally obligated to beat this game. And so, playing it, I finally got over my fear of first-person shooters, and I was having a great time. I beat this game several times. So this was the first-person shooter that not only could I beat, I actually loved. And so now, first-person shooter is one of my favorite genres. So, it's a bit of a story there. Well, there you have it. There's the 10 games that mean a lot to me for this great anniversary. Now, these are by no means the only games that mean something to me on a PS2. I could easily talk about more of this, and who knows, maybe we'll revisit this another day. But for now, stay tuned for my Hoboween special. Take care, and I'll see you then. Hobo out!